Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Oracle Scroll. Come with us as we explore hope. Hi, glad to have you with us today. We were taking a few weeks off from our normal schedule with the Oracle Scroll, simply because it just seemed that there was a lot of things on our plate that we needed to attend to. One of which has been a group of cards that I've been putting together to work with our intuition and work with our information that we are constantly being fed by our higher self and those around us. And so I invite you now to come along as we begin to explore these one by one in no particular order. Card number 39 in our little setup is titled Hope. This word has become very important to us in the last few days as we suddenly feel that we have hope. Hope is something that is the beginning of the work of putting together solutions and things that actually work for us. And yes, hope does not take the place of that work, but it's the starting point. It's the beginning point. It is in the midst of all the work that is involved in transforming a situation. Most of us this year in 2020 are experiencing situations that need to be transformed, that need to be changed and rearranged so that we can feel normal again. Now, the interesting part of this particular episode that we're going through is we get a chance to redefine normal. Normal that was normal in 2019 is non-existent. It has gone. It has that ship has sailed, as the colloquial term may be. We have moved forward. Forward may be a bit of hope, a bit of a hopeful suggestion, but we have moved from what was normal then. We have been forced to look at ourselves in the mirror and really identify what is important to us. I posted something recently on social media that says basically, what was it again that made normal so attractive? Normal, well, I'm going to take myself. I'll put myself in that place. Normal for me was many, many years of sitting for hours in each direction in freeway traffic on I-5 as I tried to make my way to an office where I spent a day of 10 hours, maybe 8, 9 hours, depending on the day. And it was a situation where it was a thankless job. You were never praised if you succeeded, but oh my God, if you failed. And so that's the kind of normal that we had. Well, what was attractive about that? Well, yes, okay, it did afford a paycheck that made us able to pay our bills and even allow ourselves to splurge on some things that we may never have had the opportunity to do. But normal came at a horrible, horrible price. It came at the price of sacrificing the things that were really important to us. It came at the price of sacrificing the things that we really needed in our lives, but we couldn't find a time slot to make them fit. In the process of working through that particular normal, and I'm putting air quotes around all of this time. Every time I say normal, you can picture it with air quotes because that's how I mean it. In the process of working through that normal, we put ourselves into debt. We bought a home. We bought a home in an area that it still needed, quite a bit of landscaping work, and of course, with an HOA, you had to make sure that everything was just perfect and all your I's were crossed and T's were dotted. So anyway, we uh, we had to struggle with that, and it took a lot of time. You don't realize when you go from one living situation where you don't have that kind of obligation, and then suddenly you're jumping right into it. Not only do you have to buy a whole range of new tools, but you have to find time to make those fit. And since we live in a very popular area where home prices are ridiculous, in order to find an affordable home, and I put affordable in air quotes again, in order to find an affordable home, we had to move further away, which made that commute time even worse. That was normal. Frankly, we had gotten rid of normal considerably before uh, February and March of 2020. Normal went by the wayside many years ago, and we began to forge our way through other ideas and putting together things that actually worked for us rather than them. Okay? That was the other part of normal, was your life did not belong to you. You were no longer able to do the things that were really important to you because you had a time obligation. You had a certain obligation of hours that had to be spent away from home and in the service of someone else, helping them build their dream, but yours were kind of just swept under the rug. So that brings me to this card that I'm talking about, number 39, which is hope. We are at a crucial point in our history, in our lives in general, and in the way we as a society function. Hope. We have lost hope in so many areas of our lives. And I'm speaking as someone with, privilege, I guess, if you wanted to put it that way. I have no way to actually put myself in the place of someone who is experiencing the bigotry and hatred that is reserved for those of people of color, people of other nationalities, people who have come here and maybe don't speak the language that we are accustomed to hearing. And as I'm also in a marriage with another man. And so that makes my situation tenable. Many of our rights are in question. We don't know. We don't know what we're going to be experiencing. So we have that to contend with. Well, since the whole process of developing the card was up to me, I took a background which was a swirl of rainbow colors. It brings everything together, and that, to me, speaks of hope. Hope brings everyone together and brings every ideology together, brings every attitude together, allows it allows us to see beyond the surface. It allows us to see deeper than just skin deep, as the case may be. It allows us to develop an actual relationship with the person. And we're just surrounded by people who want to emphasize their rights. Their rights are so important that they can completely ignore their responsibilities. And that is the sadness that grips us as a nation and as a world. So the word hope, when everything else is done, there's no plan for the future, there's nothing. All you have sometimes is hope. And hope means you have to believe in something beyond yourself. Now, the numerology connected with this card, it's 39, which after you extrapolate it out it comes to you as a 3. Numerologically, ace, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, those are the work areas. That's where you've begun to put together some ideas, and you're beginning to see how they're going to fit together. You're beginning to see how they function, and that adds to our feeling of hope. So the card encourages us to embrace hope, especially when it feels like there's nothing else for us to grasp. Embrace hope. Understand exactly how it feels to hope and how the comfort that it can bring by just believing in hope. So I hope this has helped. I hope hope has helped you to understand how we fit these things together in our own minds, and they begin to produce results once we have enjoyed that picture that we've created. With the aid of hope, then we can begin to put it into function, put it into practice, and make it work for us. So I hope you will enjoy these cards as we go through them. And as I said, there are 52 of them, and in no particular order we'll be attacking them as we look at daily the news and look at what's happening in our world. So thanks for joining us today, and please stay tuned for more from the Oracle Scroll. Bye-bye.